Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm back out here in my shop tonight. I was in my garage last week, but back out here. Hopefully the video is a little better. I know it's still going to be a shadow back here because I have this lumber rack right up here above, but I did unplug a light, which I think was causing all the washout with my camera. It made it look like it was smoky in here. So hopefully the video quality is a little better. Anyway, that's probably as good as it's going to get for right now. So tonight I've got Mr. Juan Lopez, my old friend from DFW. And glad to have you on here, Juan. We were talking earlier, so I never get to talk to him anymore unless I have him on a show or something, because just don't cross paths much.
Yeah.
But anyhow, and of course we've got my buddy Javi here to watch the chat for me.
Yep.
I just walked outside a minute ago before I started the show. And I hope it doesn't get loud, not here, but my neighbors, 2 houses down, man, sometimes those guys get wound up and get to partying and stuff. So may get a little crazy down there too. But hopefully none of that will pick up in here. Let's do a quick roll call over there. We've got Frankie CNC, Mark Lindsay CNC, Wizard Woodworks, Jim Johnson, Casey 1959, David Budd, Raymond Dixon, a Mega Walk, John DeGrief's in the house, Jeff Connor, Richard Kowalski. Man, we've got a bunch of folks. Appreciate y'all tuning in. The Wood Bucket, Dale Ludlam. Some of these folks, I don't know who they are with the Wood Bucket. I don't have any idea who that is. But you're welcome anyway. Richard Morgan in the house. How you doing, Richard? Peter Pesuelo, all the way from New Zealand. Glad to have you on, Peter. Ron Cleveland.
Pedro.
So, all right. I don't really have a whole lot of announcements. I did notice that after last week's show, a bunch of people said that they had already got this book. I'll give George's book another plug. It's got a link down in the description if you haven't got one yet. And I do something else I want to do too. I can't remember who it was, but somebody kept telling me they've emailed me or put a thing on Facebook or something 3 or 4 times now about they know how to get to the show to watch it, but they don't know how to get to the chat to comment. When you open up the YouTube, it's just like watching a video. Over on the right hand side next to where the video is, that's where the live chat is. And if you don't see it, you have to click that little button up there that says show chat. For some reason when you go, it may be turned off. Well, if you click show chat, then it'll pop down and there's where everybody is. So I can't remember who that was, but if you're watching tonight, I hope you can get the chat working and join the fun. But yeah, like I said, I want to plug this one more time. Randy Johnson, George Fondreska, awesome book. A bunch of people said they've already got it. If you haven't already got your copy, like I said, there's a link down below. You can hit the show more button if you don't see it and pick one up. It's pretty awesome. Okay. What are we going to talk about, Juan?
I don't know.
CNC,
whatever CNC related, I guess.
Okay. Well, we were, like I said, folks, we were discussing earlier before we went live about what we're going to talk about. And I said, I don't know. I guess we'll talk about some CNC stuff or something. I don't really have a topic. I mean, Juan, you can tell the folks who you are, where they can find you, and maybe a little bit about yourself. I might be some folks out there that haven't met you yet.
Sure. My name is Juan Lopez. I live in Dallas, Texas, and you can find me now on Instagram Kind of slowed down quite a bit on YouTube and Facebook, but I'm on Instagram. And thanks for having me, Dave.
Okay. I was just trying to turn you up a little bit there. You're having trouble getting the. I mean, I could hear you, but I couldn't hear you as loud as what I should, I think. So, got you turned up a little bit. Yeah, Jeff Connor says that doesn't show up if you're watching on a TV. Now, what I always do, Jeff, is I have a smart TV, so I use my phone if I'm watching somebody's show and I cast it to the TV, and then you still have the chat on your phone. Same thing with if you're casting a Facebook Live. You can watch it on TV, but you'll still have the chat part stays on your phone. So, and I love to watch stuff on TV, rather because I got a big old TV, so I like to watch it on that as opposed to looking at it on my phone.
Now, Ryan Ballard is asking Juan how many VWs you have. That's a rather strange question.
You probably saw the VW sign. I had up to 5 at one point. I'm down to 1. A lot of projects and not enough time.
Were they bugs, super bugs, or Vanagons, or?
I had a Bay. I had a Bay bus. I had a Super Beetle convertible. And right now I have a Beetle in the garage. And I had a Super Beetle that was in my driveway, which I got rid of. I ended up getting rid of them all except for one, but I had quite a bit at one point. Down to 1.
And Mark is growing his beard back, which if you've seen him, he's beginning to look like, I don't know, a cross between Santa Claus and Kenny Rogers. What's
up with that? Does he want to be a woodworker or something?
I guess so. I guess he wants to give up the CNC as far as I'm concerned.
I haven't seen him.
Thing it'll say Mark Lindsay Woodworker instead of Mark Lindsay CNC.
Yeah. But he wants to know if you have any tips on great beard care products.
Don't touch it.
There you go.
It seems like I saw Mark looking a little shaggy in one of the last videos or something.
Yep. He's growing it out pretty well there and stuff. Juan, do you have any latest CNC projects by any chance? Have you been getting out to the shop?
Not in my own shop. I've been pretty slow at that. Right now I have just someone asked me to make little badges for him. That's what I've been doing here lately, but nothing really outstanding per se or something that.
Yeah, I saw you post the picture of the badges. Those look pretty cool. I guess that's pretty easy stuff to work with.
It's pretty simple. Pretty simple. It's they're I guess the guys put numbers on his machines out in the shop that he has, and he asked me to make some for him. And it's that acrylic, that 2-ply acrylic. It's pretty cool stuff. I could see some keychains and stuff being made out of this.
What's one of your favorite projects that you've done on the CNC?
I don't hang on to hardly anything, but I did several signs. I love making signs. It was one that says "Gone Fishing" and it had a bass in the middle, jumping after a lure. That was one of my favorites. Maybe I was gonna say
Javi, I just want to mention that question about the Mach 3 license because some folks won't. I know the chat repeats now, but some folks won't see it.
That's right.
So I want to try to, if somebody puts a question over there, we make sure we say it so that. But no, the Mach 3 doesn't have any expiration thing. Once you get a license, you got it from now on. So Um, John, no, I do not ship to Australia, only to continental U.S. and Canada.
Oh,
Juan's whispering. Yeah, Juan's kind of soft-spoken tonight for some reason.
Let me see if I can fix my mic.
Because I got him turned up on the control thing here as far as it'll go, and it's...
I borrowed these from my son, so it's probably these in-ear things.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, we can hear you. It's just you're probably not as loud as Javi and myself. So,
Is this better?
yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah, there you go.
I've been told no one's as loud as me, but oh well. It's a cross I have to bear.
Dave Mack, I see you in the chat now. I know. I think you said you had HughesNet or something like that. Yeah, that's the price you pay for living out in the boonies.
Todd's asking about your day job.
I'm a CNC machinist, programmer.
It's a beautiful thing.
It is.
As far as making money on CNC products, Juan, what's your experience? What have you made any what insights might you have for those who usually, because it's usually one of the more popular questions normally that
Sure.
how do you make money on a CNC?
Well, I guess my case is different from everybody else's because I didn't really buy my CNC to make money. It was strictly for hobby. Do I make money off of it? Yes. Some people will ask me to make this, make that for them, and pays for supplies, pays for end mills, for V-bits and whatnot. But now, where I do make my money is in my day job, and it's the same thing. It's CNC. It's a little different from a hobby machine, but it pays well, pays really well. So as far as running a business, it's not what I do. So I wouldn't know how to answer that, I guess, in that particular way. You, on the other hand, I know you make money off of CNCs or,
Well,
business.
I make money off
Business-wise.
businesses, but
Yeah.
it's CNCs for me has always been a hobby as well, because
I hear you.
when you make money at something, it starts to suck the passion out of you. So I have an interesting take, which is whatever I do to make money, whether I like it or not. I mean, I like it because I'm making money for something I want to do. In other words, I keep reminding myself, whichever job, when it gets to be a grind, which it normally doesn't, but when it does get to be a grind, you think in the back of your head, I'm doing this for woodworking or for my family or for whatever passion you might have. And that's the way I
hear you.
figure it out.
I've seen, excuse me, guys, I've seen 3 questions. I think a couple of them have already scrolled by.
I see him here.
Todd is asking how long you've been a programmer.
I've done it close to about, 18 years now. All Mastercam. Dabbed with SolidWorks. Not a really, good at SolidWorks, but Mastercam is more of my forte, I guess.
Yeah, and you're learning Fusion too, right? Fusion 360.
Yeah, trying to get the hang of that, and it's got my interest. It's powerful software.
Yeah.
David Battershaw was asking if you've made any changes to your GarageWorks.
I have not, other than the upgrade kit, because I have one of the very first units that came out, which had the single beam gantry, and I got the upgrade kit from Dave and put it on there, and thing works great.
Omega Walk was asking if you've done any 3D photography or stereoscopic imaging. Have you done any type of 3D? I would say scanning, or
No,
anything like
not
that.
3D scanning. I've done several, and you could all see these pictures on my Instagram. I've done a lot of photo V carves, I guess. I guess that would land under that subject. But you can see them all on my Instagram, G Code 1 Design.
Yeah, somebody was asking. I noticed you've taken down just about all your videos. I think you got your YouTube channel. Somebody was asking if those are going to come back, if you're going to be making those available again.
Yeah, I think at one point I will. I was thinking, I was debating whether to go a different route other than YouTube, or just go differently on my videos. So I kind of just put it all on hold for now, other than I think two videos that I have up there. But either way, I'll let everybody know if I do switch to another provider, as far as which I can't find. So
Yep.
I have not found yet.
And Landis is asking, why'd you choose the GarageWorks versus a Gatton? What influenced your decision?
Well, I think if I remember correctly, Juan was one of the first ones to get a GarageWorks. You were right up there, probably in the first, I don't know, 5 or 6 that I sold. And I don't think I had the Gatton out then.
He didn't. And as a matter of fact, I almost cried when he came out with a 4x4. Yeah, I almost cried when he came out with the 4x4, because it said coming soon, or he was working on it, and I was like, no, I need to get this now. So I got the 24x36, and about a week later, he's like, okay, I got units for the 4x4. I'm like, oh. But yeah, and then I think, when was it, Dave? Was it probably when he sold the plans? I actually bought plans from him. I just never built it, because I got the GarageWorks. But
yeah, there's a lot.
I guess you can say I do have the Gatton as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of there's that even got the free Sidewinder. Yeah, I don't even like calling it a Sidewinder. I call it the shoestring budget build. But a lot of people that got the free plans for that never did build it. I guess they figured they weren't out nothing since they were free, so they didn't build it. But
And
I thought I saw another question go by. Now I can't remember what it was.
well, Jim Silicola was asking, will you have videos available again?
Yes, at one point. Right now, I'm going through a transition as well. So soon I'll probably have some videos up. I definitely want to keep doing it. That's for sure.
Well, I know a lot of folks, especially your just the one that pops into my head is the one you did about offsets. That I think really helps some people. So I'm sure it'd be the people will be looking forward to those coming back online.
And VZP38W has a relatively simple question. Building my first CNC, servo or stepper?
As far as the technical stuff, I say hobby would probably be a better candidate to answer that question.
Well, in short, steppers are the standard, and the difference between servos and steppers, okay, there's a lot of differences, but the main difference is servos will always be at a specific location digitally. That's how the communication works, whereas steppers are either forward or backward, and the Mach 3 or the cam software actually keeps record of where it's supposedly at. Servos are a lot more expensive, and steppers are they're the standard for something like hobbyist CNCs. When you get into the industrial stuff, then that's when you want to ask that question. But for the most part, stepper motors are what you want to be using for anything that's not an industrial machine.
Yeah, if you're starting to figure out how to build ones yourself, once you start pricing steppers versus servos, you'll pretty much figure out that why steppers are so popular. They're much cheaper. Servos more accurate. Yeah, maybe.
The thing with servos is they are the position. The way the communication works is a bit different. So the servo, for instance, on the machine, it'll say go to position, 20, 25, 3, whatever it is. The servo will actually send back its own. It'll actually move to a position as opposed to just forward and backward. It's a little more involved than that, and it's the way they're designed as well. But steppers is what you want. Neither is more accurate than the other. It's just a different way it's used.
Okay, something froze up there for a minute. I don't know whether it was me or something else, but
Yeah, I noticed that.
I was just going to say, I'm surprised nobody's asked the question yet, but if you look at Juan's machine behind him there, he's got kind of a different router than what I think most folks use anyway. I don't know of many people that are using what he's got. You want to talk about that a little bit, Juan?
Sure. I got the rigid. It's the trim router. I've had it since I've bought the machine for the kit from you, and it's worked great. I recently bought the setup to put the 892, is it, quarter and cable, but I'm still using this. I don't know the model number of. Let me see if I can see it.
It's kind of an odd shape too, if I remember correctly, isn't it?
It is. I actually made the clamps myself, but let me see if I can get that model number. I think it's the only one they make, actually. I think I read 2401.
And I don't know if you mentioned it, Dave, or you saw it. Sam Bond gave you a super chat a little earlier.
I saw that. Thank you very much, Sam. I appreciate that. It lets me know the super chat is working. So thank you very much. I appreciate it.
And I have a question from Todd, but I don't understand it. Do you use Mastercam Post for Mach?
No, I've never had to. I have Vectric software. I have the VCarve Pro.
Maybe he was confused because you use Mastercam at work.
Yeah.
And you're using Vectric at home, right?
Yeah. I use Vectric at home. I have VCarve Pro. So the only place I got Mach 3 is here at home. At work, they're all Hawses. So we do have a Tor Mach, and I do have a separate post for that. And for EDM, have several EDM posts, but not for Mach. It might be the same as a Tor Mach.
And what was the last project you did recently? I don't know if you answered, if we discussed that or not. Most recent project.
It'd have to be those badges. I don't know if was it before or after during this.
Yeah, little badges.
Somebody just asked. They may have just joined and didn't see the.
Yeah, these little tiny badges that someone asked me to make for their machines at a shop.
Let's see. They're asking Peter if a speed controller helps in a Gatton CNC. Well, Dave, you want to take that one? You have a speed controller.
Well, yeah. If you're talking about a spindle, you need to see Hobby and suck up to him a little bit and see if you can get him to make you one. He made one. And of course, wouldn't you know it? Here I am out in the shop and I can't show it.
That's always the case.
It's always in the opposite place. So last week I was in the garage. Nobody asked anything about that. So, but yeah, Hobby made me this really nifty little box, basically with a potentiometer and a off-on switch. And so it's got a huge magnet. I think, what'd you say, come out of a hard drive or something? And
yeah, it's
I mean, you can hardly pull it off when I stick it on the machine, but so I can just turn it on.
Little hard drive magnets just to
and that sucker, it's not going to fall off of there for sure.
Yep.
But yeah, I love mine. So I would say anytime you can use a speed control like that, why not? Or some people like to control it in the software, and that's cool too. But
yeah,
I love my little.
I saw you walking out to the back of the machine every time you had to control it or turn it on or off, and I go, man, that's a lot of work. I'm lazy. I can't take that much work. So I ended up making something that basically any one of those spindles. If there's a few videos out there, I believe my video is out there as well. Any one of those spindles, all you got to do is connect 5 wires. A 5-strand, 5-wire cable to 3 for the control, for the speed control, and 2 for the switch, and a little bit of dip switching and programming, and you can remotely control your spindle, your VFD for the Chinese spindles. It's very handy. Yeah.
Frankie was talking about in the chat. He says Harbor Freight has one $20. He may be talking about the router variables, or what do you call it? Router
the Harbor Freight controller for the variable speed controller for the router. I have a comment to say about that, and actually I believe Peter probably mentioned it on his site more than once. The only issue with controlling the router, everybody here has probably mentioned it once or twice. The only issue with controlling the router speed is it's great if you have it on high and your router's 24,000 and you want to drop it down to 10,000, but be careful because those routers, the fan is built into the speed of the router. So if you start controlling it too slow, you're going to end up, for one thing, it's a lot higher amperage drawing through it, so it'll get hotter faster, and you won't be cooling it, so it'll get hotter even faster. And there's a possibility you might burn out the router, or certainly shorten the lifespan. So
I got one of those. I should probably do a giveaway and just give the thing away, because I've had it. I bet you I've had it 10 years from Harbor Freight. And I've never taken it out of the box, because right after I got it, I started hearing stuff just like what you said, Hobby, that when you slow it down, and it makes sense that, the fan's not turning as fast. So now it's not cooling as well. And I thought, heck, I just won't use it. And I never have. I've always run my Porter cables, the 690, because it doesn't have a variable speed. I just run it wide open.
Yeah, it's 9 times out of 10 if you can afford it, and it's a little more expensive. It's about $430 as opposed to a $100 or $150 router. When you can use the router without the speed controller for long enough to make enough projects to buy yourself a spindle. I mean, to sell and buy yourself a spindle is my recommendation because, I mean, I'm sure Dave agreed before I even got mine. It's just, I'll never go back. I'll never go back to a router if I can avoid it.
Yeah, that's one disadvantage, I guess, to running this out here in my shop as opposed to running my Gatton out there in the garage is, this one's loud, even when it's not cutting anything. Just turning it on, it's loud. Now, of course, out there, I turn it on and put my ear protection on and get it going. And after a while, I go in the house and watch it with the camera. So,
John DeGrief asked if you could put a small external fan to keep it cool, and it gets pretty hot, particularly if you're running it at a slower speed through with a rheostat with a speed controller. And the fact that the fans are actually built into the unit, even if you try to increase the flow, and it's never a bad idea, but it's going to be blocked by the speed of the fans as well. So you are, either way, it's going to be limited unless you cut open a bunch of holes and redesign the thing.
I would just say, if you're going to go all that trouble, I'd just get a spindle.
Yeah.
Matt Peel's got a question for you, Juan.
Okay.
He says, how do you like your Tormach, and what do you use it for, and what size is it?
Well, I personally don't have one. It's we use it. It's at work. It's an 1100. I believe it's is it PM CNC or something like that? But it's the 1100. It's a bigger one, and we use it on mostly plastic parts. It's can't say much, but we just modify plastic parts, and we've had it for probably 3 years, and I haven't had any problems with it. So they're good machines as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, if anybody's wondering, that's the same size that Bill Griggs has, if y'all are familiar with him. Well,
yeah, it's the exact same one.
He has one of those in his garage and loves it. In fact, I don't know if y'all have seen it. Tormach just did a video on YouTube where they're featuring Bill Griggs, so that's a good watch if you haven't seen that.
And Peter mentioned that he ran his with an external fan for years. Yeah, I'd like to add something to my prior comment. If you run a fan through it, you're going to be blocked. But if you put some sort of a heat sink on the actual unit and run a fan, I mean, again, these machines are pretty hardy, the routers, to begin with. It's just you stand a higher chance of overheating them. And Frankie said he bypassed the wires in his Makita, and the fan is on high. That's interesting. I don't know the design of that one, because most of the Porter cables, the fan is built into the armature, so it travels at the speed of the actual router. Juan, have you ever considered a spindle?
Yeah, and I think maybe down the road I'm gonna get me one as well.
There's a good question. Jim Hortons, are you in your garage or your basement, and do you bother your family with the noise?
Well,
this is gonna be a good one.
Yeah, I want to hear this one.
Because I've seen his shop. I've been there.
I'm actually in one of my living rooms. And no, just close the doors and I get no complaints at all.
It's probably not any louder, in there when you have the door closed as it would be because my garage sits right next to my family room, which is, where I'm sitting watching TV. TV's right on the other side of the wall. So it's probably not any louder there than it would be, if you were in a garage or something. So
Yeah, it must be that Garage Works. It's as quiet as a mouse.
It is.
Never bothers anyone. CNCing with surround sound. Todd.
Paul from P&G Custom Woodworks in the house. How you doing, Paul? Kevin Calhoun. He just got his Gatton CNC kit the other day.
Yeah,
Yesterday, I think it was.
I just saw that. He uses his second bedroom.
Yeah, I think, yeah, that's right. I think Kevin was telling me he has to keep his pretty quiet too, because I think he's in an apartment or something like that. So it's amazing where these machines end up to me.
Yep. Absolutely. Hey, Juan, you ever considered making yours vertical?
No, not yet. Haven't really thought about that.
Did
Michael,
you see?
Save,
Oh, I'm sorry. Go on.
It would save space, though.
Yep. Well, did you see my Colossus video for the?
I did. I have.
Game?
Yeah.
That was a fun build.
Thing's awesome, man.
I see Michael Chipser's in the house now. How was the show in Houston?
Juan, did you go to the Houston show?
I did not. No.
Yeah, I think. Well, I saw Michael post stuff, and I think Jeremiah Brown was going to go too. I think. I don't know if he made it or not. Small, much smaller than Atlanta. Kevin says he uses the Hitachi router for the quiet. Yeah, that's probably one of the quietest routers out there. I believe that's what isn't that what they use on the digital wood carver, I think they use Hitachi routers.
I always thought it was a Bosch. Let me check.
Well, maybe.
I'm curious myself. I don't know for certain.
Michael Chipser wants to know if your Gatton CNC has carved anything, Javi.
Yeah, I'm getting that question a lot. Michael, not yet. I've been so busy with the new business that I purchased that I haven't had a chance to go out there. I haven't even surfaced the spoil board. But I promise you all, this weekend, well, tomorrow, because it's the end of this weekend, I'm going to take the next step is I bought a whole bunch of this number 25 chain, and there's a couple sprockets in here. And the next step is I'm linking the two motors together on the back part of the shaft for those of you following along. And so I'm not going to have an issue with it racking. It may still stop if it binds with the weight, and the pulleys will come next. But at least it won't rack the machine, and I don't have to keep redoing that. But I vow by the end of April to have done my first project. So within the next 2 weeks.
Okay, good. I hope you shoot some video.
Yeah. Oh. That's guaranteed.
I hope anybody shoots video. Nobody shoots video anymore, even me.
Yeah, if you guys have a Gatton CNC, shoot video. Dave would love to see it.
Yeah, I mean, I get every once in a while I get to see a short little clip that they post on Facebook, but usually it's just the camera showing the project and not the machine or anything. But somebody, Landis Stutz, I think it was, Juan was asking about dust collection. What do you do about dust collection?
I have a shop vac. That's about it.
Okay, so
My CNC is the simplest unit out there. I think right now. I mean, it has no drag chain, has
No bells and whistles.
no bells and whistles.
So you mostly do small project, or you take little nibbles and stuff?
Well, I've done bigger projects,
Right.
as big as the machine can handle.
Right. But do you have like big chips, or do you usually take small layers at a time? I mean, for dust wise.
Oh, I've had a mess up in here, but I mean, it's just nothing I can't clean up when I'm done. Yeah.
Gotcha. Keith is asking when Dave will be making a rotary table for the CNC. Why?
Well,
done that.
It wasn't a rotary table as in a flat table that way, but if you're talking about a rotary axis, it's already been done, buddy. Did that a year ago.
Hey, that's an idea. That's my next Gatton CNC. I'm going to make a real small one and stick it on a Lazy Susan so I could just spin it around.
Yeah. Yeah. It's weird because
I can.
I made the, bought the rotary thing and with the live center and even sell plans on how to make it. And I still get asked that question, like, well, when are you going to do a rotary thing? And I'm like, man, I already have. In fact, I did a real basic one 4 or 5 years ago. Mm-hmm. Nobody goes back and digs through those old videos. If it's not something that you've done in the past couple of weeks, they don't see it. But yeah, it's I've got some videos. In fact, if you go to my website, I think there's videos on there showing, I've done 2 or 3 videos because I show how I take a square, just a square. Actually, it was a couple of 2x4s laminated together. And I turn it from square to round, and then I put a roughing pass on it. I've engraved, wrap text around a cylinder. And then the last one I did, I show a roughing. Now, I don't think I filmed the roughing pass, but I filmed the finishing pass where I'm making a spindle. So, yep, it's already been done. One thing I haven't done yet, and it's still on my bucket list, I guess, or list of things to do, is when my old lathe quit, I took the motor off and I just bought a different lathe. But I'm going to use that old lathe and make a standalone CNC lathe where, it'll have where you can mount a router on it and have stepper motors move it back and forth and stuff like that. But
yeah, I just
try to do it on the CNC. The more I've done that, the more I realize what a pain in the neck it is to have to set it up and get everything. If you're going to do a bunch, yeah, it's okay. But to me, I would rather have a standalone thing. So that's.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I'm the next build I do will probably be a rotary lathe based with the Gatton CNC head. So it's that's going to be a fun build as well. Mark I have to shoot back because Mark just asked me. I'm sure he was joking. Let's see, what was the actual question? Where is it? No, I just missed him.
I didn't see his question, but I see the comment Michael Chipser made after that. That might be, maybe that's what you were referring to.
It was, I'm scrolling back. Oh, goodness gracious. A lot of people no, I know I saw it. There was something to the effect that I need there it is. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not Mark. My apologies. It's Michael Chipser I'm shooting back at. Maybe you should get the alignment tools.
Is that the famous unicorn aligning tool?
Yeah.
Yes. No, I'm not going to get an aligning tool because it's perfect.
Peter
No,
Pasquale, I got to give him a shout out too. He says, "I'm like you, Dave. I have the lathe, but that's as far as I got." I'll tell you what, Peter. I challenge you to make that standalone lathe. Maybe you'll probably end up getting it done before me because I'm the world's worst procrastinator. So maybe you can do a video and get it done first, and then I can learn from watching you. But all right, it's one of those things where I already got it up here. I know how I'm going to do it. It's just sitting down and drawing it. I just got so many other things that have a priority that I just haven't got around to it. And, really, I don't really plan on turning any spindles or anything. So unless I have a need for something, I hate just making something just because. I like to make something that I need or that I'm going to use.
Whereas I love making stuff just because I don't actually use them after I make them.
Yeah. Landis Stutes, he says he got the book. Yeah, that's a great book. Yep. I knew everybody that, like I said, I bet I've had a dozen people comment on Facebook or message me or whatever, telling me they got the book right after last week's show. And I knew y'all were going to like that. It's a great book. If I didn't think it was, I wouldn't have plugged it. Not how I roll.
Mark's got his rotary axis video coming up soon. That'd be nice.
Good. I know that's a much anticipated.
Yep. I'll be interested in watching the first couple hours of it.
Yeah. Becca Miller in the house. How are you doing, Becca? John Latta, Dave Mitchell.
Becca.
Use the appointment tools for rotary axis also.
Alignment. He probably meant alignment.
Oh yeah. Spell check.
he just gotta keep he just has to keep poking.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure somebody will 3D print you some, Michael, if you need them.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah.
11 minutes. That's why there's more than one.
Okay. Anybody got any other questions for Juan? He's being awful quiet. We're letting him off easy.
Y'all keep talking.
Have you made anything for your family, Juan?
Yeah, I've made a lot of things. Well,
and have they
mainly
appreciated it, or have they gone, that's nice?
No, they like it when that's what they tell me anyway. But yeah, just decor, things here and there.
What's your wife's favorite project that you made for her?
I made what would you call it? I guess just a sign with the L on it, and it has the family names.
Mm-hmm.
Underneath it, it's she really liked it. Yeah.
Have you ever made any I know I've been dying to do it, and I still haven't gotten around to it, even though I have around to it.
There you go.
Have you ever made any nice little custom photo holders or things like that?
I have not. I mean, I've thought of doing it, but it's just I work a lot.
Yeah.
And so I make a lot of plans to make things, but don't really have the time. But
now, Juan, do you? And I hope I'm not putting you on the spot here, and if I am, I apologize. But you have made some kind of like photo V-carves, only you don't have photo V-carve, right? You do it. You use another process of doing it. Do you want to talk about that a little bit? How you take a picture and turn it into what almost looks like a photo V-carve without photo V-carve?
I do it with the ViaCAD. That ViaCAD that we bought, that we all got together. Yeah. It does it. Just put the photo in, and it. I think I posted it on Facebook the way I do it, and I think it was on the Gatton page, and yeah, it's pretty simple actually to do. But I use ViaCAD for it.
Does ViaCAD actually convert images to similar to photo VCarve?
For photo VCarve, I've only used the demo version, and it's totally different because on ViaCAD you can make it into an STL. So you just drop the STL into the VCarve Pro, and then just run it.
And is it it uses shading and to get different heights, or is it just all 2D and I guess what I'm trying to say is does it make a picture like for do you use it for photos or use it for 3D objects?
Photos. Yeah, it does exactly what you said. It does. I believe it uses the shading because it automatically adds, the Z-axis or the.
Because I've been looking into because the couple of times I've tried Photo VCarve, it's okay, but you got to tweak it a heck of a lot, and in the end, you end up with a file that's 18 hours long.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'd like to. I'd be interested in trying that out.
And there's also I've actually have several, and I've always gone the free version for making lithophanes.
Yeah.
And I forget the name of the program. Let's see if I could find it really quick. I think one of them is Photo to STL. You just Google it and you'll find it.
Right.
That's one that I also use. When one doesn't work, the other one does. At least it always has for me.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I see that.
One's Photo to STL, and the other one is, let me see. But ViaCAD's actually the easiest one.
Right.
At least the one that's worked the most for me.
What version Dave Mitchell was asking of ViaCAD?
A 9. And it's the one we all bought. What is it? Let me see.
Is it the ViaCAD Pro or just the
ViaCAD Pro?
Okay.
Yeah, Frankie CNC did an eagle that he's going to be uploading soon over Photo VCarve, so interested in seeing that one. It's going to be interesting. There are a lot of different techniques to transferring 2D images, to converting 2D images and translating them to 3D. It's always been a difficult difficult thing to do on a budget.
Yeah.
Well, fellas, it's about 5 minutes before 9. I suppose we should probably give away a Gatton CNC kit.
Ooh.
Oh.
That is if anybody's interested,
That's always a beautiful thing.
Mm-hmm.
We've got 80-something folks watching. And I can tell you right now, I didn't get near that many entries. I think I only got 53 entries this week.
I think a few people dropped out because they didn't think you were going to give one away. So, well, such is life.
Yeah. Well, when I first announced that I was going to do this, I said, hey, I might give away one, I might give away 2 or 3, or you never know. Yeah. So if like I said, I've got the thing set up here. I know I've got 53, so we can do a quick giveaway.
Yep.
and see who wins one this week.
I'm ready on the chat when you are.
All right, you keep an eye on things, Javi, while because I got to switch screens here and. I can get this to work. Oh. Let's see here. Let me double check just to make sure. Yep, I got 53 entries. And, well, I'll tell you what, since I'm not going to be looking at that now, I might as well bring this around here where I can see what I'm doing. Yeah, so I'm going to go to the random.org and it'll be from 1 to 53.
Yep.
And I think I have, let's see here. There it is.
And the number is
1, 2, 53. All right. Well, I don't see. I can't see the chat anymore. Is everybody ready?
I got it. I got it.
Okay. The first number is. Holy cow! Came up
53.
Came up with 1. Number 1. Well, that's weird that it did that. Whoever is first on the list.
All right.
is
And that would be
Keith Allen from Wisconsin.
Allen.
And I think he was in the chat, or unless it's a different Keith Allen.
There he is, Keith Allen.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't even set my phone because I was pretty sure that I saw him out there.
Yep. He's there. Wonderful.
All right. Well, congratulations, Keith Allen, for being the lucky winner this time. I didn't think. Yeah, I've got your address and everything. Just might want to double check, make sure your address is correct, what you filled out, and I'll get that sent off Sunday morning. And I'll send you a tracking number and everything as well.
And you have 3 days to build it. Speaking as the guy who took 11 months to get the parts together for his. But I built it in 4 hours. 11 months later.
You all, I wasn't expecting a giveaway today. Apparently not a whole lot of folks were, because we had about 100 and I don't know what, 150, 160 folks last week.
Yep.
See, this is the people I find out who's loyal and who's not.
That's right.
Some of the names, when I look through the names on the chat this week, it's more the names I pretty much always see.
Yep.
Last week there was all kinds of names, and I'm like, yeah, you're just here for the free stuff. You won't be here next week. And sure enough.
Dave, may I announce my change of time slot in a couple weeks?
You may.
The Learn CNC with Javi show will tentatively be moving in a couple weeks or so to post Dave Gatton show. So as soon as the Dave Gatton show is over, for those of you wishing to tweak your skills or ask general questions about anything related to CNC with me, feel free to switch over and watch the show. Thursdays is difficult. I've had a lot of people with what's difficult for me, and I've had a lot of people that want to see the show, but they can't because of the weekday. And I thought, I don't mind staying up a little later. So,
yeah, I think a lot of folks are Well, I won't say night owls, but more of a night owl than I am anyway.
Yeah. Yeah.
So Keith Allen just said, do I have to video the build and place on YouTube? I would say I wouldn't worry about video in the build, just get it built. But I would love to see some videos of projects being made on. Nobody shoots, they get the build done and that's it. Nobody does videos on them showing it what it'll do.
Raymond says, Juan, your Instagram said it was private.
I thought I had it on public, but
We'll remedy that soon enough.
yeah.
Don't anybody tell Jerry Bonifield we called his name tonight. Says he just got here or missed the show tonight.
Yep.
I'm just kidding, Jerry. We didn't call your name till just now.
Jim Johnson wants to know how you modified your Z plates. How he modifies his Z plates. Huh? Is that the standard modification, or is that a different modification?
I'm not sure. If he's talking about
The router?
I actually have one of those out here, by the way.
Ah, excellent. Steve Misher just asked if I was going to do a giveaway of my Colossus.
All right, now assuming we're talking about the same thing, because to me, this is a Z plate. So Jim, if this is what you're talking about, and I got confused when Jim had posted some stuff on Facebook, because I could have sworn I was confused. It was so long ago, and he was talking about his stepper motors being 269 ounce, and I was thinking, well, wait a minute, I could have sworn I sold that thing with the Xylotex kit and the stepper motors, which would have been 425, but I didn't. So, okay, he's saying different adjustment on the bottom. So have you put the, let me put it on Juan here so we can see what. Do you have the adjustment things on the bottom of your plate, or only on the side?
Only on the side.
Yeah, that's what I thought. And I think, Jim, if I remember right, yours should have that too. I did that mod on that demo machine, and then, you're the one that got the demo machine. And then, I kind of did the mod and showed people that it's a good mod to do, and everybody started doing it, and they were busting taps and all that kind of stuff. So I said, heck with it. I'll just start doing it for them. So this one hadn't been done, but if you look close, you can see I've already drilled them. I just haven't tapped these, but I did happen to have one out here. But
I'd like to mention the useless challenge one last time. We're halfway through the month. For those of you who haven't put an entry, I've got a few entries already, and well, actually, I've got 2. So you're guaranteed to win a prize if you put an entry in. Send a video of something completely useless. Make it funny. Make it really nice looking, and make it out of wood on my channel. And or to me, the video is on my channel of where to find the information.
Yeah, if anybody's looking for a good idea for that useless challenge, hit me up, because I can give them something. I have something I was going to do, and I just don't think I'm going to have time to do it.
Yep.
I may or may not be on jury duty here sometime this month, which still ticked about that. But anyhow, I spent all day today finishing up my taxes. Like did I mention I was a procrastinator? I mean, there's still plenty of time. We got till Tuesday, I think.
Oh yeah.
But I thought, well, I better better start wrapping those up. So I went through today, spent all day in front of the computer digging through stuff and found some more stuff. And
you reading this, Javi?
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah.
What'd you do to the guy?
Mike, no. He just loves poking. Michael Gypser saying since my Colossus doesn't carve to enter it into the useless challenge, because all I've done is jog it around right now. I haven't actually well, the big delay, well, you know, it's I don't have time, like everything else in life. You know, we try to get out there in our shops, and we have time when we have time. It's lucky I even got the thing built. But I've got a Porter cable router that I have to dig through my stuff. For those of you that don't know how much stuff I have, watch my videos. Hoarding to boarding. There's a whole series.
it'd probably be just easier to go to Lowe's and buy another one.
No, I see that I'm dead set against, because then I'd have more stuff, and yeah, I've got 7 of them buried somewhere. So I got to stick the I'm not taking the spindle out of this one. If anything, I'll buy a new spindle, but I got to find that Porter cable and just stick it in there so I can get going. But I haven't even been to the shop in a month. So
yeah, Mark says he just bought a truck, Dave. I'm like, yeah, we see videos with the truck in it, but we haven't seen it.
Well, that's the other thing. I'm enjoying my brand new truck. You know,
that is a nice truck. I gotta say, that's a nice.
That was
truck.
fun. Yeah, it's chauffeured Dave all around the wood show.
Now Javi has to build the CNC that goes in back of his truck.
Oh, I can do that.
Like a bed.
Yeah, that'd be nice with a lazy Susan.
There you go.
I'm gonna make a rotary CNC. Mark my words.
That'd be cool.
And what I mean by rotary CNC, I mean I'm definitely making a rotary lathe CNC, but I want to make a rotary CNC. Now that somebody gave me the idea, I want to get a CNC that I could put on a lazy Susan and just plop it on some table and just spin it around to any angle I want. I'll make havoc with the wires, but it'd be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Lindsay. I still call it a car. I was on a hangout the other day, and I go, yeah, I just cleaned the car out. I'm still not used to calling it a truck.
Yeah.
I called my van a car.
All right. Well, I guess again, congratulations to Keith Allen. Like I said, I'll get that out to you first of the week.
Congrats.
You probably have it. Let's see, Wisconsin. You probably have it by Wednesday, if not Wednesday, Thursday. Guessing. I'm not sure if Wisconsin's a 3 or 4 day thing. I should have it memorized because I ship them all over. I've shipped others to Wisconsin. I think you probably have it by Wednesday, I'm guessing. Okay. Well, I guess we're going to wrap this up. Juan, thanks so much for coming on here and hanging out with us.
Thanks for having me, Dave. It's fun.
We, like I said, we didn't really have things well planned tonight, but we just kind of wing it. Sometimes that's the best way to do it anyway.
Right.
A lot of good questions. Currently having terrible weather in Wisconsin. Yeah, I've seen, I think, who was Nick Ferry? He lives in Wisconsin around Green Bay or somewhere, and he was posting pictures, said he had like 4 to 5 foot drifts of snow.
Yeah.
So, man. So, all right. Well, thanks, Javi. Thank you, Juan. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We still got 79 folks. You know, don't stay away next week. You never know when we might do another giveaway. Make sure you get an entry in. So, yep. All righty. Well, I'm going to get out of here. Everybody have a great weekend. Be safe. I know we got some storms and stuff still coming through Alabama and all that. So everybody be safe. And we'll see y'all next week.
Y'all take care.
Good night, all.